Alright, so last week I made a video, it's the last time you've seen this. I made a video of the top end and a cylinder of this late 90s Polaris 400. And I believe one of my other videos says he thought it was a 98. I was guessing like a 97 or so it's pretty close. So we'll go with the 97 or 98. Maybe you know a little bit more about just looking at it. But it's a Polaris Scrambler Sport 400. I believe there's an L that comes after the 400. I bought this thing maybe 2 weeks ago. The head gasket was leaking. Come to find out, the guy or some previous owner broke off some studs in the cylinder. I don't know if they changed the head gasket and they tightened it too tight or what, but they broke off some studs in the on the cylinder. So then they tried JB welding. They drilled out the cylinder stud area and put some of their own studs in, and they ended up being too big. So it was just a mess. They had JB weld around where the gasket was supposed to be. They had JB weld on top of the nuts on top of the head. It was a mess. But anyway, I got this thing for 320 bucks. Gave the cylinder to my cousin, which in the last video I talked about. I actually showed the work he had done, so if you are interested, go back and check that out. But he's a machinist, and he took it and he fixed the head, put new studs in, checked the water jackets, I guess, to make sure they weren't cracked or anything, which they were fine. The heads wasn't warped or anything, so it had great compression when I first got it. So anyway, he fixed the cylinder. I put it all back together, put new gaskets in it, and this past weekend finished putting it back together. A couple of things that have I guess been added or changed since you saw it when I first got it, plus the other video. Front tires. The previous owners actually had rear tires on the front rims, which, or maybe they were back rims, somehow they got on the front, or I'm not even sure what the deal was, but it had back tires on the front, which was crazy looking. So now I've got the correct size tires in the front. My brother actually has a bunch of Polaris junk in his backyard, and he brought me these rims and tires on Saturday. So got good tread on the front and the back. I mean, it could be better if it was new, but hey, free tires, free rims. All I had to do is mount them and put some air in them, and they good to go. Actually, this one I had a gash in it, so I've actually got an inner tube in this one. This thing was missing the front cap from the front here for the oil. My brother gave me a cap for it as well. That tank is actually disconnected. I'm just mixing the gas straight with the oil and putting it in the tank. So you can't really see it from here. Maybe this line right here I've got plugged. That goes to the carburetor from the oil. If you notice here, this petcock that I've got, this little inline on-off switch for the gas, the petcock was broken. That hole right there where it says reservoir or reserve off on, that's where it usually goes. And I've got another one. My brother brought one to me yesterday. I just haven't put it on yet. But the petcock has 3 spouts on it. One that goes to the carburetor, and one for the regular or on, and one for the reserve. Well, the reserve spout was broken off of it, and they had JB welded it. So as soon as I hooked up the lines and stuff, it was leaking gas all over the place. So that's why I just ran those 2 lines straight down to that inline on-off switch. And right now, I guess it's on reserve all the time. I'm just gonna make sure it's got gas in it. But I'm gonna replace it with the correct petcock, which I've got over the shop. I just don't have it here. This tube here I got off eBay. It says on demand, full-wheel drive. I'll probably scratch that off because this does not have full-wheel drive. This is the sport model. But pretty much that's all I've done. I need to get a new dash for it, or the plate that goes over the dash, but the ignition and stuff is kind of just up and rattling around. One issue that I'm having is the reverse light comes on. Usually that comes on when it's in reverse, and what it does is it causes the light doesn't do it, but when it's in reverse, the engine kind of breaks up some, so you can't go too fast, and you got the override button here. Well, the only issue I'm really having right now is that reverse light comes on sometimes in forward, sometimes in neutral, and it causes it to run rough. But if I push the override button, it kills it. But if I wiggle the gear shifter, that light usually goes out. So I don't know if it's a short or something from the way I've just got this laying up here, but I got to get that sorted out. But the brakes work. I'll show you in a second that the lights work. The chain is a little rusty. I actually sprayed that thing with some grease the other day, and it's rough looking and probably needs to be adjusted some. It's got a new battery on it. And we actually took it riding yesterday. I went to use my GoPro camera at one point, and the battery was completely dead. I forgot to charge it. So I didn't get much video. Actually, I didn't get any video except for my one of my kids riding. So let me go ahead and start it up. This thing ran a whole lot better as the day went on. As the day went on, it ran better and better. Yesterday was the first time I'd actually ridden it. Basically got all the wheels straight on Saturday, and yesterday was Sunday, Father's Day, and we went out riding. One thing about the wheels is it had the guys gave it to me with only basically one lug nut in each wheel holding it on, so I had to come up with some lug nuts also for my brother. But the seat is not torn, the plastic's not broken up. This was the most impressive part right here, the start button. We've had a lot of Polaris Trailblazers and Sportsmans and Scramblers, and very rarely did we get one with a good starter. But let's see if it starts right up. There we go. So, little push of the button and it started right up. I was really impressed. The pull start works good too. My hands, between working on this thing on Saturday and getting these three rascals ready to go and having to pull start those repeatedly while I was working on them, my hands have been killing me the last couple of days. But yeah, there it is, idling. I'm going to tell you one thing about this this four-wheeler. I've got that KFX in there, and I've ridden, you know, a bunch of all kinds of other four-wheelers. This thing scared me the other day when I first got it running. I gave it gas, and I had a Scrambler 500 four-wheel drive, and I've ridden the Trailblazers, and I've ridden the 300s or 330s and all that stuff. And this thing, I don't know if it's how all the sports are, but I gave it maybe a quarter throttle, and that thing, the front end came off the ground. Actually, the throttle then got stuck wide open, which we fixed that yesterday. We lubed the cables and stuff, but the back end slides around easy. I was really impressed. Actually, yesterday when we went riding, when my wife wasn't on it, I was riding it around, kind of testing it out, and at the same time having fun on it. But I don't know if it's because it doesn't have the four-wheel drive up front. Those 250 Trailblazers that we've had are nowhere near as powerful as this, obviously, because it's a 400. But all right, so we got, as we were working on it the other day, it was kind of interesting. We put the battery on it just to see if the starter button would work, and the starter worked. So we were like, man, that's crazy. So we then got the light to work. We were like, wow, that's even better. And then the brake light. So all the lights work. This thing runs good. Like I said, I'll get some video of it on the actually on the trails soon. The radiator, we haven't noticed any leaks from the head, but from the cylinder. The fan, you know, we got all the lights and stuff working. We were like, all right, so is the fan gonna come on? Is that system working all right? And you know, eventually after it warmed up, the fan kicked in. So talk about a home run. The $320. I've got $20 in an inner tube for this right front tire. I spent, I think it was like maybe $11 for this tube here off of eBay. I spent maybe, I think it was like $6 on the inline on-off switch. An air filter. I did buy an air filter for it. The air filter I bought was $22. So let's see, 320, 22, less than $400 is what I got in this four-wheeler. And like I said, this thing starts right up, it runs good, no issue starting up. The light's off right now, but So now my wife's got something to ride, which is a good thing. Get her involved in it. It's a good little running four-wheeler. But alright, well, I won't talk much longer. Hope you enjoyed, and please check back later on to I guess see some riding video of this thing. Like I said a minute ago, all I really need to get done now is figure out what's up with the chain being so rusty, maybe replace it, or see if I can lube it again and fix this dash and figure out what's up with the reverse light. And get the petcock, which I've already got, back in place, and get that inline on-off switch, which works fine, but I get that off. And my brother also has a cap for me right there on the hub. He's got a cap for me to put on. But anyway, yeah, I'd always heard that these things were, I guess, capable of producing high RPMs and fast and all that kind of stuff, but I never really knew that it would be like it was what I experienced yesterday and the other day. I was really impressed. Yeah, it was fun, a blast to ride. So stay tuned for some more videos of this, and actually here coming up soon, I'm gonna be getting a lot more videos up on YouTube because I'm out of work for a couple months, and I will be working in the shop on a regular basis for the next couple months. So I plan on making videos of a lot more stuff. So please stay tuned, subscribe, comment, rate, and have a great day.